This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
We show up.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Carbon, and today we are going to be talking about everything new that came out in the patch version 1.19 in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And it is now live on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the update is coming June 27th for you PC players. And I think this update was about 13 gigabytes in size for me, and the patch notes finally came out. And it introduces the contract system and allowing players to earn more rewards just by playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And contracts are available, just like most of you know by now, in multiplayer, zombies, blackout, and league play. And there's a lot of contracts available daily, allowing players to earn more content, apparently. But there's been some issues, but we'll get into those later. There's a lot of things that came out, including some weapon tuning, new equipment, some new features, and even maybe a little teaser for the next Call of Duty Zombies update. So let's get into it. Let's start with the contracts, okay? So this is kicking off on a rotating selection of up to 28 contracts to complete each day across all 4 modes. So this means 196 contracts per week. And they also have the newest alternative lighting map in multiplayer, Hot Seat into Twilight. We'll get into more of that later. The more maps also added into rotation for Prop Hunt, for you Prop Hunt lovers that love to laugh. I know what you mean. They added them to Capture the Flag and Prop Hunt. So they also have new medals, they have new equipment and humiliations in Blackout, so that is the Blackout update they were talking about. They also have the introduction of the hard mode gauntlet in zombies and weapon tuning, like I said. So new features, what are those? Blackjack's stashes. So each player will be able to unlock one of Blackjack's stashes per game, which contains all of the black market weapons in your inventory. For instance, if you've earned the Vendetta in the contraband stream, it will be available for you to grab during a blackout match in one of Blackjack's stashes. Now, to reiterate on this, just because they say there are new weapons in Blackout, in order to use any of the new weapons, any of the DLC weapons that have came out, you must first unlock them in the reserves. You must unlock them in order to play with them in Blackout, or you will not be able to use them. Of course, it has been noted, and I don't know if it'll be fixed yet, if your teammate can grab a gun and drop it for you, you might be able to pick it up. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if that's for certain down in the comments. Let others know. They also have some new humiliations. There are epic finishing moves that can be used on enemies. We already know this. I haven't unlocked any yet. I've earned a lot of crates, and I still don't have any of the new weapons besides the ballistic knife, which I got out of my weapon bribe at tier 25. And they also have the new equipment, the Sentry Turret, and these are available only in supply drops and stashes in Blackout. You activate them for an additional increase in overall power, as well as another, basically a layer of strategy to your takedown planning. And they also have a new feature, basically medals. Similar to multiplayer mode, completing certain events in Blackout grants you medals that reward merits. So you can expect merits for actions that include, but are not limited to, reviving, assisting, performing humiliations, eliminating a quad or duo, taking down zombies, double, triple, and quad kills, frenzy, mega, and ultra kills, as well as the much loved kill chain 8 kills within 3 seconds of the last one. How crazy. Now let's talk about the weapon tuning changes. This update basically brought some crazy changes to the guns as part of their efforts to constantly improve the multiplayer experience and to help out the SMGs and the pistols more competitive against assault rifles. They've also changed the ballistic profiles to more traditional hit scan model. This means bullets from SMGs and pistols should now hit their targets faster and with a higher accuracy without having to lead the target to account for bullet travel time in multiplayer. And while they're satisfied with the balance, in popularity of each of the weapons in the classes, they want to ensure SMG and pistol players can go toe-to-toe with AR users at multiple ranges as the meta evolves. They've also simultaneously tuned down the damage ranges to the Daemon and the Switchblade. They also added a third extra magazine for the Daemon and reduced the operator mod damage on the MOG 12 shotgun to reduce long-range one-shot kills. This should bring more balance to the SMG class and encourage MOG 12 users to really earn those Dragon Breath kills. They also brought a fresh twist to one of the outdoor focus maps in Hacienda, and they've called it Hacienda Twilight, so it's now joining the multiplayer map rotation. So unlike previous alternate lighting environments, this map's moonbath exterior is brighter than its interior, with like blazing fires and structural changes and other new surprises to be discovered throughout the estate. You might want to get your bearings in a custom game before jumping into a public match. I'm telling you, we played some multiplayer and it felt like a completely different map to me. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. I really like the new map. I'm glad they didn't just do some weather one. I like the night versions of maps. I really do. And let's talk about the more maps on Prop Hunt and Capture the Flag that we brought up in the summary. So it gets bigger this week with the additional maps Morocco and Summit that have been added to the rotation. They've also added Frequency and Jungle to Capture the Flag. And for more varied matches, because people will start to get used to the same props, you know? You start to really learn the map. It starts to get less creative, and you start to, I don't know, it's just nice to get a nice refresh. And they've also added some improvements to Prop Hunt, including a fix for props being able to get under the map, and a particularly peculiar issue that players could spawn inside of other players. Also, Mark II weapon level progression has also been fixed in the update, allowing attachments and weapon camos to progress again as intended. Also, medals, equipment, death effects and humiliations, and more in Blackout. Those are all going to be fixed. Now, medals are now awarded in Blackout, like we talked about. And just like we also talked about in the summary, medals, they are now awarded in Blackout, like I said, for completing certain actions in a match. This can be including reviving and assisting teammates, or eliminating a duo or a quad, or taking down zombies, scoring a multi-kill, and so many more. You'll earn merits for every medal you earn. So basically show off what you're going to be earning with those, because I'm having a hard time getting these weapons. And they did some evaluating on the next piece of weaponry to keep the Blackout meta fresh. And after a bunch of plays testing and some core tuning changes, they introduced the Sentry as the newest addition in the mode. And to keep it balanced for Battle Royale, the Blackout version of the Sentry deals lower damage compared to its multiplayer counterpart, and it also serves as more of an alert system and a nuisance to your enemies. The Sentry can only be found in stashes and supply drops, so keep an eye out. They're kind of dope, and when you hear them, it almost sounds like a minigun. You just don't know what you just encountered. And as an additional reward for completing an outfit mission in Blackout, they've added the new numbers death effects for use in multiple modes. Simply complete any specialist outfit mission to unlock the Blackout themed effect. Now, one of my members that I was playing with last night, he had the death effect, and I think this was the death effect. Every time he got a kill, it created a sound that lasted a few seconds. And when you're playing multiplayer or Blackout, or like Search and Destroy, like really things that you have to listen in the game, 2 or 3 seconds after you kill somebody is prime hearing to hear footsteps, and if it's being covered by this death effect, I suggest maybe not use it. And then next up, like we said, Blackjack Stashes. It's the new feature that was introduced to limited time modes only, not in core competitive solo, duos, or quad matches, which would make sense why I never saw them in solos. And it is only on PS4. You'll be able to unlock one of these rare new stashes per match if you find one, and it will contain black market weapons like we talked about that you currently have in your collection. For example, if you've earned the Vendetta sniper rifle in the contraband, you will be able to use it in Blackout. I can't stress that enough. A lot of people showed up in my stream asking why can't they use the new weapons in Blackout. That is why you need to unlock them in the reserves. And then they have humiliations. Those are, I don't know, those are cool and whatnot, but they've arrived at Blackout's redeploy modes and in multiplayer's Heist, I'm pretty sure. They first introduced them in the Bouncer Hunter limited time mode earlier in the operation, if you guys remember. And humiliations are epic finishing moves that take out enemies in style when they're downed. So, you know, check them out this week in Alcatraz and Hot Pursuit. And for those of you that like to teabag people after you kill them or shoot the bodies or do a dance, maybe try the humiliations. I mean, they're funny, but they're not great. You know, introducing also the hard mode gauntlets in Zombies on PS4. So if you thought the first series of Zombies Gauntlet, I'm not really sure. You guys are gonna let me know if this is true or not. Apparently, this is gonna be a very hard gauntlet. They're calling it unsinkable, and it released on PS4, and it will push your zombie killing skills to the brink for 2 times Nebulum Plasma rewards. Let me know, guys. Is this really as hard as they're trying to make it seem to be? Like, they're really trying to get you guys to work for this one. And also with the next operation just around the corner, they've been dying to share more about the Aether Story return in Zombies. So why did they just break the silence? Well, they have. The next chapter of Black Ops 4 Zombies Saga will launch July 9th on PS4 and follows the events from Blood of the Dead and Classified. They'll have more intel to share this week, as you know, it gets closer to the beginning of the 5th operation, when the influence of the undead threatens to spill over into some unfamiliar territory. But perhaps, you know, maybe they release too much. As they say, a little learning is a dangerous thing. That is a quote literally from them. That's all basically that came out today. But just to really break down the weapon tunings for those of you that are still around that are really interested in what happened. So let's start with the ballistic profiles. Like I said, the ballistic profiles on SMGs and pistols changed to hit scan to create consistency with other weapon classes in multiplayer, so they can be as consistent as they are with the AR. Now the MOG 12, the Dragon Breath shotgun mod damage reduced to increase pellets, required a one-shot kill at long range, so you really have to make sure those are close ranges. The Damon 3XP now requires at least 6 bullets to finish off a target with full health, which is up from 5 shots. They also added the 3rd magazine, and for the Switchblade, they reduced the 6-shot kill range from 19 meters to 13 meters. They reduced the 7-shot kill range from 25 meters to 17 meters, and they reduced the 8-shot kill range from 31 meters to 25 meters. And with the ballistic knife, they addressed an issue preventing players from using dual wield and extra blades at the same time. And as far as other little fixes, for Domination, players will no longer join Domination matches that are almost over. Why can't they do that with any other multiplayer match? And as far as Heist, they added humiliation finishing moves to Heist. And then Create a Class, they addressed an issue where Mark II weapons were not progressing attachments and camos properly. And as far as score streaks, Drone Squad now takes longer to target players equipped with Cold-Blooded. And they addressed an issue where players using the gunship could have their own camera stunk in a non-functional state. They also addressed an issue where the Hellstorm would sometimes self-destruct upon deployment, and also where a player using the dart could end up seeing a teammate's Hellstorm deployment view instead of their own dart view. And for miscellaneous, they addressed an issue where players could bounce far away from one another when sliding into one another. I actually don't think that's fixed, because somebody grappled into me and we both bounced pretty far from each other today. It was really weird. And basically, the new featured playlist for PS4 and Xbox One is Capture the Flag, Endurance Mosh Pit, Bare Bones Objective Mosh Pit, Prop Hunt, and Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit. Now, the issue, I still think, is that they should allow people that have Black Ops Pass to use all of the weapons in the DLCs from the reserve crates in Blackout. I don't believe that it should be the same for everybody. Black Ops Pass owners need something. I think that is it. But as far as Black Ops stashes, I think for RNG, it just doesn't make sense to guarantee a great weapon at certain spots, because some people know the spots. They're guaranteed good weapons. I don't know. Game's supposed to be RNG. Still love you, though. Black Ops 4. I'm going to do my best. Guys, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what I did wrong. It's your boy Carbon. Peace.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the